Chrisean seemed to believe that Blueface would return from prison fully devoted to her, but reality has been far from that expectation. Since his release, he has reportedly humiliated her, been physically aggressive, and pursued relationships with others, leaving Chrisean feeling betrayed and sidelined. Rumor has it that he is currently involved with Hazel E., who is reportedly around the same age as Carissa, and whispers have even surfaced that he may have fathered another child with Jaden. Understandably, Chrisean has been emotionally devastated by the unfolding drama, turning to social media to vent her frustration, at times expressing anger and even engaging in symbolic rituals as a form of coping. All the while, she had been supportive during his incarceration, providing him a home, covering court costs, and standing by him, only to find that once he was free, he made little effort to acknowledge or honor the commitment she had shown, leaving her feeling used and abandoned. From the very beginning, it was evident that Crocca's attachment to this man went far beyond casual affection. She made her feelings unmistakably clear when she permanently inked a tattoo of him on her face, a bold and irreversible display of devotion. The gesture itself spoke volumes about the intensity of her emotions, signaling to the world that she considered him central to her life, despite the turbulence surrounding their relationship. This commitment came even in the face of public controversies, including one highly personal incident in which he shared private photos of her son online, an act that would have alienated many. Instead of withdrawing, Croc remained by his side, choosing loyalty over caution, and even moved into his home, further solidifying her presence in his life. This willingness to stay close, despite being publicly humiliated and disregarded at times, underscored the extent to which she prioritized this relationship above her own privacy and personal boundaries. From the moment of his release, Crocca's behavior suggested she was entirely inseparable from him. She appeared to seize every opportunity to maintain proximity, whether through attending public events he frequented or showing up on live streams and social media appearances. Observers frequently noted that she was always present, often positioning herself near him as if her identity and sense of purpose were tied to his presence. Her unwavering attention did not go unnoticed, fueling discussions and speculation among fans and critics alike. While some viewed her loyalty as admirable, others perceived it as a reflection of obsession, highlighting the complex and often unhealthy dynamics at play in relationships subjected to intense public scrutiny. What made the situation even more complex was the chaos that seemed to follow them. Their interactions, both private and public, were marked by drama, misunderstandings, and conflict, yet Crocca's commitment never appeared to waver. She seemed determined to maintain her connection, even as the circumstances around them grew increasingly tense and unpredictable. Her behavior demonstrated a paradoxical combination of vulnerability and persistence. She was deeply affected by the man's actions, yet she continually sought to remain involved in his life, even when it might have been safer or healthier to step back. This unwavering devotion, combined with her visible and sometimes controversial displays of loyalty, painted a vivid portrait of a woman wholly consumed by a relationship that many outsiders viewed as volatile and unbalanced. It also revealed the challenges of navigating personal attachments in the public eye, where every action and decision is subject to scrutiny, judgment, and speculation. Crocca's decision to remain so intimately tied to this man, in the face of personal risk and public criticism, illustrates not just the power of attachment, but also the vulnerability and complexity of human relationships, especially when magnified under the spotlight of fame and controversy. It quickly became apparent that Blueface had little interest in Croc, his body language making it clear that her presence was unwelcome. Yet she persisted, seemingly ignoring every sign of his disinterest, attempting affection that he repeatedly dodged, and even prioritizing time with him over being with her own child. Observers noted that this intense fixation on Blueface played a role in escalating tensions, ultimately contributing to a physical altercation with Jaden. The situation came to a head when Blue organized a family outing for Jaden and Carissa at a game center, deliberately excluding Croc. Despite being uninvited, Croc discovered their location and arrived with her son, which prompted Jaden to show up as well, resulting in a confrontation between the two women. The incident highlighted not only the strain of Kraka's obsession, but also the broader complications of navigating co-parenting, personal grievances, and unresolved rivalries in a highly publicized, emotionally charged environment. The drama continues to unfold, and tensions are running high. A recent public message made it clear that certain individuals would not be welcomed near the children, signaling that boundaries are being firmly enforced. After the altercation with Jaden, Chrisean reportedly escalated things by clashing directly with Blueface, following his harsh criticism of both her and Jaden for abandoning him during his time in prison. According to accounts, Blueface extended a small measure of grace to Jaden, acknowledging that she had sent some financial support in the early weeks, whereas Chrisean allegedly offered no such assistance, leaving him feeling forgotten and betrayed. The lingering resentment from that period of incarceration seems to define his current stance. Anyone who left him behind would face significant consequences if they ever tried to re-enter his life, and he has made it clear that any attempts at reconciliation under the same roof are out of the question. The situation underscores the long-lasting impact of loyalty, absence, and accountability, particularly when it comes to relationships strained by both personal grievances and public scrutiny. After getting out, he reflected on the relationships he thought were secure, including one with Angela, only to realize that nothing was truly guaranteed. Now, he claims, he's back on the lookout for a serious connection, still carrying the resentment of being abandoned by both of his baby mamas during his time in prison, an experience he says left him feeling stranded and betrayed. Meanwhile, Chrisean responded directly to his public statements, posting photos of bruises she alleged he had inflicted and highlighting that he left her to pursue other women, a betrayal that fueled her anger. In her posts, she described enduring both physical and emotional harm, emphasizing that he had neglected and disowned their child while publicly exposing private aspects of her family life for attention. Chrisean made it clear that she viewed his actions as manipulative and harmful, accusing him of pretending to have changed while continuing patterns of abuse and neglect. Her account paints a portrait of frustration, hurt, and the lasting consequences of a relationship marked by violence, dishonesty, and broken trust. Chrisean was clearly in pain, and some people felt her comments about her son were coming less from concern and more from heartbreak over the fact that Blue no longer wanted to be with her. The belief was that if he had welcomed her back the way she expected, none of these accusations would have surfaced. Not long after, she went live from the airport, openly sobbing and shouting at him, even going as far as to wish death on him and saying he would meet the same fate as her late ex, Ronnie. What was once seen as an attempt to reconnect with his family quickly shifted into the opinion that distance, even incarceration, might be safer for everyone involved. At the same time, Chrisean spoke in a prayer-like, emotional tone, asking for protection and divine intervention over herself, claiming she had always been the one who ended up hurt and insisting she had never intentionally harmed anyone. She mentioned having bruises on her back, refused requests to see her child, and made it clear she wanted no further contact, telling others to focus on their own lives. As the situation unfolded, additional rumors began circulating, including talk that she had been involved in spiritual or ritual practices aimed at influencing the men connected to her past, adding another layer of mystery and controversy to an already chaotic and emotionally charged situation. Rumors began circulating that she had been using witchcraft to maintain control over Blueface, with some even claiming she had employed the same practices against her late ex, Ronnie. Chrisean addressed the accusations related to Ronnie, but she never publicly denied the suggestions involving Blueface. The speculation intensified after she was seen on Snapchat performing a ritual involving nails, which many interpreted as confirmation of her alleged mystical practices. Despite her denials, few were convinced, and online observers pointed out that her silence regarding Blueface only fueled suspicion. Some believe this is why she is frequently seen in church, praying for forgiveness, not merely as a spiritual practice, but as a reflection of guilt over her actions and the harm she may have caused, particularly in relation to her son. The combination of public scrutiny, mysterious rituals, and unanswered questions has kept this story both sensational and deeply contentious. If the rumors are true, Chrisean's actions could be far more serious than most realize. Social media has been ablaze with speculation, with some suggesting that both she and Blueface seem off or disconnected, sparking questions about whether something supernatural might be at play. Others have claimed that she has used blood magic and collaborated with a witch, allegedly targeting Blueface, Jonathin, and his family in an effort to create division and maintain control. Some even suggested that her presence brings misfortune to those around her. Now, the debate is open. What do you think about Crow being accused of manipulating these men with her alleged practices? Could she have really used mystical means to keep Blueface from leaving her? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're at it, check out this other video diving into the mess for even more context.